Good morning, everyone. Welcome all for the Industry Institution Development Program. Today, the day 4 of our program. Myself, Rashika Murugan, CTO, Athena Pandian Private Limited. On behalf of my management, I cordially welcome our chief guest, respected and honorary Mr. N. Jadendra Abhinash, Customer Service Engineer, Wipro G Healthcare, Pune. Welcoming you, sir. Then I welcome our CEO.
will receive as a output of the application, whether it will be the usage or the outcome. So like we can take example for this, like in hospital, hospital is investing more money towards the hospital management system, because this will help to manage them the total life cycle of the patient. That means the patients arriving to the hospital, getting treated, getting diagnosed, and getting follow up and final discharge. Up to that, the whole system will be managed by a single application called hospital management. So even the hospital industry serves their customer. The hospital industry patients are their customers. So we cannot define customer service in a particular manner. It belongs to the business. So that's wherever it applies, definitely wherever the customers are there, customer service will be there. So through the use of the hospital management systems, the doctor or the hospital management can serve their customers well organized manner, and they can take up good relations with the patient, and their workflow also will be in a neat manner. So if they are facing the problem with their hospital management system, directly what they will do, they are going to the company where the app was developed. So they will get into them. If there is any hurt or hassle over this app, they will get into the technical person. They are going to solve technically and make the customer flow to be without any hurdles. Like, so this how the customer service works on different fields. And let me take to the so the another point is, we have to ask, somebody said before, Ravi, I think, desire of the customer. Exactly, that is the word. We have to satisfy the customer needs. So every customer will have different expectation, right? Even if a patient comes to the hospital, they have expectations of to get their ill to be rectified. Even if you are an Amazon, if you are using Amazon services, you have to get your product delivered on time. Such kind of expectations will be there with each and every customers. So we can define the expectations of the customer as whenever the product, service, or brand name comes into the mind, customer thinks about their some certain level of expectations with it. We cannot define customer expectation only this will customer will expect and that will expect. So the customer expectations will be very dynamic one, which will be changing on periodic basis. For that, I can give an example of each industry should care about the customer expectation. Without that, the industry or business or everything will get into the downward side. Okay, so we can take example of we can give multiple example in this the without the country the company without considering the customer expectations. For that we can take like do you know about Nokia, right? We have a very big player in the mobile phone industry in previous, but the Nokia has gone in the market for right away now. So why? Because they are not given the idea on customer expectation. They are not ready to listen to the customers. When the Android get boomed in the market, so Symbian OSs are outdated, but still the Nokia company believes that their customers will get into the same expectations what they are expecting the 10 years before. But over the period of time, the expectations of the customer had changed, but the adaptability of the company failed to reach that. That is the reason for the failure of Nokia. Even I can give an example, like you people are into the academics. After into the academics, you can get into research and development, right? So there you can create for, let me take ECG. That we know that there are 3 channel, 8 channel, 12 channel ECG, right? With your technical expertise or with your knowledge, with the regular research and development, even you can create a 16 channel ECG. That is also possible, right? Oh, are you listening? I can see.
Yes, so
So in that 16 channel, it will be very much detailed. You can get a detailed electrocardiogram and everything will be very detailed. Okay, but still it will not will be a success. Even a 12 channel is not successful in the market. Do you know why? Because this is because the doctor's expectations are different. What we see the technical is totally different. Because doctor's need is totally satisfied with the 3 channel or 8 channel system itself. If they want the additional clarity about the cardiac performance, they can go for echocardiogram or they can even go for cath lab or cath procedures. So the procedure they can take a different manner, not only seeing and only in the ECG equipment. This will be what the lack between the academic and will be in the industry of what I feel, because industry needs the meet the customer expectations. It is not about technically. If you can bring more technical things, but friends, I want to say the thing that the great innovations, great technology is getting failure only in the market, because we need sellable value for each and every product or whatever the things it make. You want to meet the sellable value will create only after meeting the customer expectations. If we fail to meet that customer expectation, obviously the value also will get reduced and we cannot be able to achieve the customer satisfaction. Ultimately we lost the business over right there. I can, if anybody there, the auto geek, you might be aware of the bike called TVS. The TVS Motors Corporation had launched the product called Jive. That is a product they launched without clutch. Do you know, this is a very good innovation, very great innovation. In the year of 2006, they came up with the technology of semi-automations. Even only right away we have seen the four-wheelers getting the fully automated gear transmissions, or a two-wheeler. In two-wheeler itself, they thought a very provoking idea of a centrifugal gear transmission in the Jive, but still it got failed. Even it has the mileage of 60 kilometer per hour, but still it failed. Do you know why? Still it has so much of specifications, very good, everything. Do you know why the Jive got failed? Due to, even though it has the high specifications over it and high number of, they marketed that product like they can use the product even in the rushy, they can start the bike in any gear, but still it got failed. You know why? The customer's experience in that time and that period of era was totally different. They want only the bike with the clutch and they want to feel the ride, and their experience, they want to experience the ride. So these things makes the product to be a failure. So without meeting the total customer expectations or customer experience, whatever the technology, whatever the idea you taken to the market, ultimately it is going to be a failure. So that is what I want to add up in this. Let me take to. So the customer service definition stands like this. The customer service is provided to the customer either before, during, and after sales. The customer service is a major in the customer business because they want to meet the customer satisfaction, and also it encourages the customers to buy more. You know, even understanding the customer expectations and getting them satisfied is a challenge for each and every company. That is why even in a food delivery app like Swiggy, in your day-to-day life, if you are getting you are placing an order in that, and your order got uh, what to say, out of stock, or your order is getting delayed, whatever this thing, you might be experiencing that the customer service representative will be contacting you, right? Do you know why they are contacting? Why proactively they are intimating these things, friends?
for customer satisfaction, customer
Yeah,
service.
that they want to satisfy the customer, even though if it is goes wrong, they want to mac up the things and they want to be get satisfied. Do you know after getting the order closed, even in the Amazon or whatever the product, there is a system called feedback system. We are giving the ratings to the delivery persons. We are giving rating to the in cab. We are giving rating to the driver. Why do you know why this is? Because industry want to know the expectations of their customers. So that is why in the last slide also you can see this kind of rewards, and you can give the rating in the star rating, or the customer service person will be reaching out to you to take the survey. So this is because they want to analyze the what is the exactly customer expectation, because as I said, we cannot define the expectation of the customer, because customer's expectation will vary by day. It will be a dynamic manner. Even right now we are expecting before 10 years there is no food delivery system, so we expect food delivery to be happen nowadays. Nowadays so much competitors will have, then what happen in future, we'll expect the delivery in a particular time. Maybe I don't know, within 10 minutes you want your delivery. Like the expectation of customer may get developed or over the period of time. So that things they want to be in a current manner. So that's the reason daily you are making the ratings to the whatever the service you are getting. So please take your surveys and feedbacks whenever it comes to you, I would say. And next, the thing I want to share is the importance of customer service. So through this, what you might be have an idea that what customer service is giving and what exactly it happens. Because if you serve the customer well, he'll be back to you, right? That is what the customer retention is very cheaper one than the customer acquisition. So getting a new customer, each and every company will spend so much of their funds over the marketing agenda, or you would say the launching program, whatever it's a, but it is very cheaper if you provide a good customer service. You can take it to anything, even to your own business. If you are owning a business, or to a shop, street vendor, it can be. But if you treat your customer well, he will back to you. That is the primary motto in the customer service. Ultimately, the customer service can lead to more revenue. Do you know that the coffee or tea what we are buying in the street shop vendor will be cost some 40 rupees, right? But the same coffee or tea will you are getting to buy over the Taj Hotel or some Starbucks, it will be costing more costlier. This is because the product will be the same, but the service what you get for the thing will be different. So if you are giving an excellent and ambient customer service, definitely customers are ready to pay more. So that makes the position because of their customer service. I want to say all the Tata products also be in the #1 because they care about their customers and the business. But while caring their customer, ultimately their business also growing indirectly. So these are the things gives the customers service. Customer service. I would say the whatever the company who care about the customer will be the #1 company in the market, whatever the thing it is. Okay. So next we can, if the customer service is very good and excellent, what happens? The business will grow. The will attract more customers. More customers will land up in higher. So that's why the company is spending more on customer service. Okay. So let me take into the effects of poor customer service. Right now we have came across what is customer service and the good part of customer service. Let me take you to the poor customer. What the effect of poor customer service will do? It gives to a 25% of loss to the business. and dissatisfied customer. Like a satisfied customer, through the word of mouth, they will say their shop is good, you can take the business over there. But if you are facing a dissatisfied customer, ultimately their word of mouth will be on negative manner. They will tell 10 others to not to buy on this shop. The 10 will say 5. In current scenario, we are not telling to the customers, they are taking to the social forums where we can put the anything about the company over there, and ultimately you can spoil the reputation of that company. So the customer service, we can take example of here, like Zomato. In the last year, you might be aware that Zomato was facing some customer service issue. The customer needs some uh, money to be backed or refund issue, but the customer service abruptly discussed with the customer in a rude manner. They want to put the they will not hear the regional language. They want to be in English or Hindi. That you might be aware of that news. You know what happened exactly after that? After taking that session, within one day, the share of Zomato over the share market fall for the 50%. It goes to less than 100 rupees, guys. It is a total loss of, it is estimated like 60% of the company revenue of Zomato get is lot. All happened because that one employee made one customer unhappy. If the that is what the crucial in the customer service. If you're making an unhappy customer, ultimately you're losing the reputation of your own organization or your own reputations over the market. So we want to be very vigilant over these things before entering to the customer service. So next, I was going to take you to what are the customer service role you can find in biomedical engineering. So it will be very relatable, right? I think field service engineer, you might be aware, the field service engineer do installation. Like I say, what is customer service? Customer service may be post business, pre business, and want to make the customer to be happier. If there's somebody buying the medical equipment, if they are facing some glitches or operations in the technical point, then definitely they want to fix the issue. That's the reason there is a field service engineer in biomedical. They went to hospital and they will fix up the machine. And the second customer service role will be clinical application specialist. The clinical application specialist is the expert person who gives the clinical suggestion to the doctor based upon their own idea. So the clinical persons can recommend the doctor to how well utilize the equipment over the clinical procedures. So they will be in such kind of customer service. And then there is a person called technical sales representative. So these people will analyze the needs of the doctor and will recommend the specifications to the doctor so that they can get into this uh, and they'll close this issue commercially. That's what the difference between these three. Once the field engineer will close the or solve the issue technically, and by the clinical application will solve the issue through their clinical expertise, and the technical person will solve through the commercial manner. And also, as I said, hospital biomedical engineer also will fall under customer service. Since the customer service is a very vast field, there we can classify it as internal customer service and external customer service. What I said before, the three is an external customer service, but the last one, the hospital biomedical, will fall under the internal customer service, where he is providing service to the internal departments of the hospitals. So he want to be aware on customer service. Even a field service engineer will be a customer for R&D or manufacturing department, because they work for us, we give feedback to them, and it revolves around this in the cyclic manner. So apart from all other customer service person, being a biomedical engineer, we have a uh, another great responsibility like patient safety. We have to care about the patient, because our products, whatever we are touching, whether you know the patient, you are not going to touch the patient, you are not going to know whom they are and what is their trouble, but still we fall under the healthcare fraternity. So in this healthcare fraternity, everyone should be aware on patient safety. Nowadays we are using so much complex medical equipments in the to treat the patients. So the risks are very higher compared to the before days. Nowadays it is very big. We are facing issues over the patient may even dead due to the some negligence. So to avoid such negligence, we created a separate thing called patient safety. So it defines like it's a healthcare discipline to revolve around the complexity in the healthcare. The result is ultimately whoever goes into the healthcare or treatment purpose, the patient who came to the treatment should not get affected. This is what it defines ultimately. So what will be the role of biomedical engineer in ensuring the patient safety? So being a biomedical engineer, they have to be ethical, and still we are a very great professional. We should know what are our duties, and we have to perform the duties on a very organized manner. So see, first we have to is safety. You all know about the separate department called medical surveillance or regulatory affairs. So they are the persons who work on the medical equipment safety. They taken to the regulators. Once it is was regulated, then only it enter into the market. Hope you all aware. But being in a biomedical engineer in a hospital or in a field, you should aware that you utilized whatever the parts or the equipments utilized for the patient should be under the regulated. You know, the regulator bodies like FDA and European Union. There are so much regulated medical device regulations are there. So these you should be well aware on that you are getting used to the equipment which is already regulated. See guys, you all aware that there is a medical grade on all equipment, even from a transistor to the resistor. There is a medical grade transistor. What it means these kind of products are already tested in a laboratory and give a certification that it will not affect the patient. Even for a software, if it goes to the new release, we have from it to the market and we can utilize over that. So you should not bypass this entire structure. Being a biomedical engineer, not fixing the issue is not your problem. You have to fix the problem in a right manner, and to be honest, you want to be taken a position called ethical position wherever you need. So coming to the product safety, you should only comply with the regulatory requirements. You should not uh, make a break on these rules and regulations. Second thing, you must be aware on potential risk. Okay, so you must be aware of what are the equipments you are handling, what is the potential risk in this equipment. That things you have to clarify you, and you want to be ready for that. For example, you can say X-ray. You want to know about what is X-ray and what is the ionization, radiation, how effective it is, and how the exposure, how minimize you can make the exposure. Like, and also if you are working in a ventilator or some even the you can take the example of hematology analyzer, whatever things, there you are directly interacting with the bloods. So you must be aware on blood pathogens, what the exactly what happens, how contagious it is. So, and you must be aware of the science on the medical ground, and you must be these things will give you aware of your own safety, and also it gives the thing for the patient safety also. You can advise them to not utilize these things on this ground. This is not allowed. Only through your knowledge it can happen, right? And the third thing, in your daily life, you will be using a maintenance and surveillance. So you'll be performing the maintenance task to the medical equipment. You must be always care about the calibration, because accuracy matters a lot. So whatever the accuracy, if we are giving the product to the doctor, if we want to work in 100% accuracy, then only they can provide a treatment to the patients in a very good manner. So whatever the activities you perform, after performing the activity, you have to ensure that it is ready for medical use, and it does not affect or compromise the patient safety. That thing you want to aware on this. The final thing is incident reporting. If suppose some incident happened, there is a separate formula or rules that are followed by the hospitals, that the incidents to be reported in a proper manner and documented the things, because no incidents will be isolated. One once happened here can happen anywhere also. So this kind of documentations and these things give the proactive measures to avoid such a kind of incidents. Okay, well, let me example for incident happening. You can see, the inside the MR room we cannot take them the some magnetic due to the magnetic property. It is not allowed to take magnetic attractive materials into the MR room. If suppose the patient taken to the stretcher, and if you without knowing it, if they enter into the MR room, what happens? Totally due to the magnetic field, it will get attracted. That stretcher will attracted towards the equipment, and it makes the patient to be impacted, and they get affected on this. So such a kind of negligence should not happen. So proper incident reporting and the understanding the potential risk should, it is a main task for the biomedical engineers. So from here you can see the yellow color thing over there. Can anybody say what it is? What exactly this sign says over the chat box? I can see.
Yeah,
Can anybody?
symbol of biohazards related.
Not exactly. Can anybody else?
Radioactive, sir. Radioactive.
Yeah, correct. Who it is? This is the hazardous symbols of radioactive. It is for ionization radiations. If it is there, we'll find this kind of radiation. I was taking some of the signs over this. Can anybody say this thing is already written, right? You can find this kind of caution board in hospitals, diagnostic centers, everywhere. So you must be aware of these things. That's why I want to take this. So if it is a X-ray room, pregnant ladies are not allowed, because due to the radioactive, it will be they will exposed to the radiation and cause the fetus to be uh, affected abruptly, right? So we want to avoid such a kind, and you want to give notice to the kind of cautions when it is was there. Can anybody say this? Just now I say no, in MR there is some certain things to be noted before entering to the MR room. So the green symbol indicates that this is MR safe. So there only the MR safe things can enter, and this MR conditional means some kind of, even the tools we used for the MR products will be totally different from the normal tools. So that conditional things is allowed. This is MR unsafe means totally all magnetic things are not allowed in the specific region. Just you need to aware on these things. Just that's why I taken some of these things. So the last thing you might be seeing this over there. Can anybody say this? Hold up. So guys, anybody, you can see the oxygen symbol over there. You might be noticing this in any hospitals or diagnostic centers. Can anybody say what exactly it is? What the precaution you have to do after seeing this sign?
No use any fires.
Correct. This is a symbol for flammable. Oxygen is highly flammable. So if the sign is there, we should not take smoke or kind of any kind of fire over that region, because this will make a fire and it can cause to the fire accidents, such a things. So this kind of only indications will be there in every hospital. I'm only taking some little examples for your understanding. So what is this?
Sir, this biohazard.
Yeah, this is what the biohazard is, and also for blood-borne pathogens. As I say, no, it is a blood samples they are taking. You can see this kind of symbol over there, which you want to take the extra cautious effort after seeing the symbol. So the second one, it is opening, right? So even this is also radioactive symbol. You can see this caution board outside every CT or whatever the PET CT X-ray department. You can see the light called like an operation theater. If the light is glowing, you must be aware that there is a activities under procedure. So you should avoid entering into the room when the light is on, because that's the way you can avoid the exposure. These are the very simple things you can notice in wherever the hospital you are visiting over there. Can you anybody say the last one is totally different, right?
So, yeah, I think no taking medicine there.
Yeah, the last denotes the pharmaceutical industry. Hello. Yeah, the last
Yes, sir, please.
pharmaceuticals. I can hear somebody. I'm not clear. Can you make it again?
Sir, it is a pharmaceutical waste.
Yeah, correct, correct. What's your name?
Arun Aditya, sir.
Okay, very good. Aruna. So these are the steps we need to ensure for patient safety. This was regulated by already the healthcare providers are using this thing. So the first step to ensure the product safety is, as I said, the medical device regulations. All device should comply with the regulatory requirements. Only the authorized after the market, then that kind of product only utilized for the patient procedures. You must be also aware on the medical legal laws also. That also it is very much important to you. And the second thing we have to consider the, as I said, the environmental and human factors. Sometimes there will be environmental factors, as I showed before: oxygen, the temperature, humidity, lighting. These things also cause some kind of patient uneasiness or affecting the patient safety. And also the human factors. If the person is not eligible or not experienced using the particular procedure, that is also led to the uh, directly impact the patients. So these things, step two, we have to avoid with the proper knowledge and our expertise. The third thing is will be the safe use and management. That is the user responsibility. They have to do the maintenance on periodic basis, and they have to take a quality preservations and performance checking for a specific period, and they have to ensure the product quality. And even if an adverse event happened, they should have separate monitoring and recording system through them. And also the safe disposal of the things after using needle. The needle should be put it on the needle trash. The biomedical waste management system should be followed over there. So if you follow this kind of things, it helps the patient and also the community not to get contagious disease to be spread, or we can care the patients on the extreme manner. Hope you all aware on this customer service and how important it is for patient safety. Let me take you to. So right now we'll discuss on what competence is needed from freshers. As you all in the academics, I can say some little points on this. So the first and foremost thing we are getting lack from the fresher is a teamwork. Guys, being in a industry or institutions, you are motivated for individual performance. I don't know, but in the market, the company or whatever the firms expect to work on the team. We have a common goal called, and we have to work on towards the common goal. So in that, the freshers are very lacking over the teamwork. They are not, because even if your team member name gets spoiled, that's not going to take the individual responsibility or individual name. It is spoiling overall the company's name. So we hardly think on the team level. We There is no individual priority on whatever things. That is very lack on this. And the motivation to mark, especially for customer service, you have inner motivation to serve for the customers. It has to be from the inner. You are want to ready to serve. So that such a kind of things are expected, and the adaptability. And the third thing is being a customer service role. For the roles I was you, some roles requires the travel, some want to require late night duties, etc. and etc. So you want to be ready for the adaptability. We are feeling very lack with the freshers in the taking adaptability. Some have many restrictions. They have travel restrictions. They have late night working restrictions. Like you want to first of all analyze what the job description gives, and whether you want to analyze in that manner itself whether I'm suited for this job or not. So that's a way you have to approach for any job. And you want to be empathy. Every company need a human touch. So we are not machines. We need some empathy towards our customer, towards our what are the things going under in the company. So these are the things expect from you. Patience and professionalism means you want to know what exactly you are going to do, what exactly impact it given to the entire, and you want to have a documentation practice over your work. And finally, the technical knowledge. The technical knowledge is nothing but your basic idea on electronics and human anatomy has to fulfill that thing. Okay. So do you want to know about how you can excel on customer service, or whether you want to be a pro or to be a poor? Can anybody? Right, Tim, you want to be pro, right? So I will say some little tips to you through this session. You can grasp that for to excel in the customer service. It can be anything. The customer service of biomedical engineering or out of this also you can utilize it. So to be a best customer service person, so you want to take a help of Laura. So do you know who is Laura? So Laura is a service approach to get excel over the customer service. So first of all, you have to have this kind of customer service approach, whatever the problem it is. You have to first listen and ask. You want to acknowledge the problem, and you need to understand the problem, and you can relate it, and then only you can want to take action. Let me give the example. Like if you are a biomedical engineer, you are getting a call from some other department, like what will we can say ventilator is not working. So you want to ask the question what exactly, when it is switched off, when it is, what is exactly. By asking question you may know what the exact problem it is. Then you want to acknowledge them. It shows your empathy that you are listening their mistakes or their problems. Then understanding the make more questions for your better understanding. Then you can relate it to what it can be, and then only you need to approach. If you follow these steps, definitely you will achieve it. Even if it is taking for the clinical application role, some doctors will call you and directly and asking, yeah, I'm not getting the kidney stones clearly. Then at the time you want to listen to the doctor first. Okay, sir, what exactly happening? You are not getting the stone, right? So, and you want to ask the doctor what presets you are using over the ultrasound equipment. So he might be saying he was using a ops gynec. So then you have to understand that this settings will not work. Then you have to relate it to your expertise knowledge. Then you want to give the action to the customer. Like, sir, you are in the improper application preset. Just collect to the abdomen preset. There we can get into you will get a stone clarity or the calcification size very clearer. Or if it is in the same scenario, he was as a customer is in the same application, what do you want to do? You want to just fine tuning with the system to make the calcifications visible to the doctor, or either increasing a grain or a gray scale, like the purpose. So whatever the customer service, you can take the approach in this manner, Lara manner, then definitely it will be a successful. You can satisfy the customer. Most important thing in the customer service is we are not in a not going to fix the issue. We have to make some relationship with the customer. We have came across the things, not only relating or not customer retention. When it will happen, we want to have a best customer connect. The customer connect, you want to listen to the customer. If they are hitting you for the problem, you must aware that there is a problem. You want to acknowledge the problem, and then only you have to act. If you are following this kind of step, definitely you will be excel in the customer service like a pro. Okay, and to get the understanding, what you will do. So for better understanding, you want to make more questions. More questions only make you clarity. The more questions will direct you toward the what the problem exactly or the root cause of the problem. Then only we will get the solution for the problem, right? This is the problem solving skill. I can see so much of resumes there. We have an excellent problem solver. You are saying, but never ever questions about anything. I want to take you the example of how the questions are important. Do you know Titanic? I want to take some example out of the syllabus. Does anybody know Titanic? Why it is sink? Why it sink? Titanic. Who it is? Can you name it? Can you name yourself? Hello, somebody is.
Sir,
Why Titanic?
Titanic is a ship, cruise ship.
Yeah, I know the Titanic is a cruise ship, but it sinks, right? It sinks into the sea over the 100 years ago. We have a movie on the scene, right? Do you know why Titanic sinks in the sea?
Because of this trying with iceberg.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. The Titanic got made into the iceberg accident. It was sink, but the real thing is, uh, most of you of not unknown. The history teaches more lessons to us. So in the history, that incidents, what happens is the planners or the engineers who designed the Titanic never questioned that whether the ship will sink or not. Even in their colleagues also thought that questioning such a questions make us foolish. So nobody in their team also questioned that whether Titanic will sink or not. They think that this is a gained vessel and it will never get to it will never sink over the ocean. They give excellent futures for their luxury, but they never taken the step for safety or safety precautions, because they never questioned about that they thought the ship it's an unsinkable ship. They marketed also like that it's an unsinkable ship, but in the first voyage itself it gets into the ocean. Okay, it's like crap. That is the reason they never have the enough lifeboats in the system when the incident happened, because the team members never questioned that Titanic will not sink at any cost. So they are not prepared for the accident. They does not have enough lifeboats. Even the what after the site set into the sea, it received so much telegraph warning of icebergs. But still,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಅದರ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಮಗ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲಿ 16
anybody can
one
unmute.
ಅದರ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ
So participants, please make yourself mute. Ms. Nanda, please. Yeah, Avinash, you can proceed, madam, sir. Please.
Okay. So Titanic, when the Titanic set into the sea, it received numerous telegrams from the various peoples that the Titanic, there is so much of warning on the icebergs. But the officers who were sitting there, they also never taken the questions. What exactly the size of the iceberg, or what happened, they does not care about the information about the danger. These are the reasons, set of reasons for the failure of Titanic. So from the past, we can understand so much of, if we are lacking the questioning, definitely it will make the things go wrong. Even if it is not going wrong, you want to question about the wrong. Okay, so in questioning, we are having such words: what, where, when, why, who, how, and these kind of questions you want to ask for in your even in your day-to-day life or wherever the problem occurs. So these kind of questions will give the clarity on the issue. We will get into the root cause of the issue, and treating that root cause will give the exact solution for the problem. So engineering will work on this side, and being an engineer, we have to question more, we have to give a feedback more. That makes you the best engineer over the wherever. Okay, finding the root cause and treating that is the main thing you have to analyze from this. Even you might be aware, for this I can take a quote from Tirukural. You know Tirukural, right? In that we have an excellent called நோய் நாடி நோய் முதல் நாடி அது தணிக்கும் வாய் நாடி வாய் இருப்பச் செயல். Like there is an excellent quote for root cause given by Tirukural before 2000 years ago, which means the best treatment in the medicine. What Tirukural says is, for giving a treatment, you want to analyze the cause of the disease, and treating that will be the best treatment. That's what given by the Tirukural. And I don't know exactly the allopathy works on that manner, but still I believe biomedical engineering will work on finding the cause of the problem, and we are resolving it. So that's it, guys. And in the fast manner, you can find the spin gauge over here. So whatever the issue you are facing, you want to just rotate this gauge, and you want to find the solution, whether the problem can be a human error, whether the problem can be improper training, inadequate warning signs. Like I say in the Titanic, they are not aware of the warning signs, or they are not care about the detail of the danger. That is what the inadequate warning sign, inattention to the detail. You want to get into detail, so asking more questions will direct you towards the detail. And the equipment failure can be the reason, bad procedure can be the reason, even sometimes act of God, the nature things also will be the reason. But whenever the God stops on unknown, you want to again start the process from the scratch to get the exact cause of the problem, and you want to treat the cause that will give you the exact solution. So being a customer service or any part of the thing, for giving a solution, you must use you must question, and you must analyze the root cause, and you want to treat that. So guys, we are into this. So what are the takeaways we are going to? So we have discussed what is customer service, and how important it is, and what are the market trends in the customer service, and why service is so important, customer service, and how well the customer service in biomedical different from other industry, and what is patient safety, what are the responsibility of biomedical engineer should have in the patient safety, and how to achieve the excellent customer service. And the final, we have end up with root cause analysis. These are the takeaways just we go on through today. So thank you so much, guys. I can open for your questions. So anybody can
So
ask
participants, do you have any kind of a
anything.
clarifications you can able to ask to Jayendra sir now?
Friends, just now I say ask more questions. That
Sir,
work. Suppose you are.
I am faculty. I am
Yeah,
asking
okay,
for
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, go ahead.
Jayendra
I'm ready
sir.
to. Yes, I'm
I
listening.
am faculty, Selvati.
Okay,
I am
ma'am.
asking this question for our students.
Okay.
What are the suggestions you can give to our graduating students, particularly in biomedical engineering students?
So, exactly, ma'am. Thank you. That's what I said. We expect what the company expect from the biomedical recent graduates is they want to have some. They have to show their teamwork over their academic period itself. That how well they are managing or organizing the things, and they want to exhibit some more technical knowledge about simple things like normal electronics and basic electrical and electronics, some mechanicals. Even so nowadays we are seeing the guys, they are not known how to use the multimeter. That kind of is very danger and
Yes.
such basic things should be taught in the academic. That will be very helpful for this, because see, after getting into the field we'll be talking about IGBT, FPGA, like more technical terms. At the time we cannot take into the specific electronics domain, and we cannot take this is IGBT, this is MOSFET, this kind of electronic things. They have to be in handy before entering to the market, and they have to analyze the market. As I said, they want to know the expectations of the company, and they have to fulfill that expectation through their period of time, whether they can take up courses like this, and they want to build their self. First of all, they want to have the thing called accountability from the freshers. They are not taking serious. They want to account for their work. If something goes wrong, you can we are humans, we make mistakes. That is the true, but they won't. If it goes right, they take the responsibility, but when it goes wrong, they just take off their hands. This kind of what we say, soft skills or something is much needed from the freshers. It's very lack, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. And also from your Wipro GE, what are the certification courses or any training courses for the biomedical engineering students?
For in currently Wipro, we not providing any trainings, but they select some trainee peoples for internship or something else on the periodic basis. That is what the training given for the students. Apart from that, we are not having any kind of such a training programs for graduate students right now.
Okay, okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the information.
Sir, I have one question,
On
sir.
questions. Yeah, thank you.
Sir,
Go ahead.
while designing an instrument, what are the different parameters we have to think for patient safety, sir?
So as I said before, this we have to think on the hazardous things, what the hazardous material or the things that you are going to employ in your design. Specifically, you need to give in the designing perspective. You have to take how well the patients will if you are designing, for example, I'll assume that you are designing for a patient bed or bed for a CTMR machine that should be comfortable for the patient. Some patients will be very serious condition, or they will be in unconscious state, so the bed has to be lifted automated, or it has to be flexible to lift the patients from the stretcher to this kind of small things. You need to get detailed analysis over the design what you are making, and you can make how it is impact with the patient. Then you can proceed with your design. Hope you're clear, right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, it's quite clear, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
I want to ask one question, sir. The roles,
Correct.
the service, everything may be done by electronics engineer or mechanical engineer sometimes. They can also understand in what way or in what place the biomedical engineers will especially get into role for these jobs.
Yeah, great question. Actually, what happened means whatever the role I was said, this is not specific for biomedical engineers. They ought to be, as I said before, strong enough on electrical and electronics domain. That is what the lack with biomedical engineers. Biomedical engineers are not separate domain. We have to be well versed in all the domain. This is a very well vast field. We have to build up our technical knowledge over the electronic things. That is what needed. Okay,
Okay,
and for medical engineer, there is no separate role actually. Even for hospital biomedical engineers, nowadays only they are recruiting biomedical background. So in previous years, they are recruiting from electronics. Nowadays, things got changed and they are adopting for the biomedical graduates since the graduate numbers are high. But still, the numbers are high. They are lacking the technical knowledge. That's what I want to say. They are they are well versed on the anatomy and physiology. But for some roles, need some electrical background, right? Electronics background that are not clearer. And I don't know whether the curriculum meet the
That's what I got
requirements.
a doubt, sir. Because in while meeting the students and their studies, they are focusing on physiology, anatomy, and that's what I asked you, sir.
Correct, correct. Because mostly, whatever I feel, I also done my graduation in biomedical, so I can see so much of people coming to the biomedical because they lost their seats in hospitals, or I mean to say they lost in uh, BDS or MBBS seats, so they opt for biomedical. But the actual thing is, biomedical is not for healthcare. It belongs to healthcare, but our field totally engineering, fully filled with electronics and electrical or mechanical things. It is an engineering domain. So we have to more focus on engineering first of all, not towards the patient, because we are not going to see the patients. As I say, we are not going to know what the patients going to affect like that. Somewhere, if it is going in the clinical application, there it will be useful for you. But for the service engineer or for a design engineer or for R&D, this kind of purpose, you will be very strong enough on engineering domain only. So you have to very clear that it's
Thank you,
not
sir. I want this
we are
answer
not going
from
to
a
treat any
company person.
patients.
That's what I ask you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Hope I am clarified you.
Yeah,
So,
yes, sir. You are clarified. Thank you.
so anybody else?
Any other clarifications? Kindly please, or else shall we wind up the session? Anybody have any clarifications? Come on. So yes, so probably we can
Friend,
wind up the
and
session.
you will, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you proceed. You proceed.
So I have shared you some link. Friends, please take couple of minutes, spare your time, give me a feedback about this session over there. The link is on the chat box. You can select it over, and I'm also available on LinkedIn. If you have any silly doubts or questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm ready to help you out all the time. Okay, thank you guys.
So thank you very much, Avinash. Thanks a lot, and thank you all the
It's not
participants.
opening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Selvati madam, can you please repeat, madam, please?
Sir, the link is not opened.
Okay, I'm sending you again.
Thank you, sir.
No, sir. That is telling external site like that.
Ma'am, I will send you personally, madam. No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll share you with your sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
very
you
much
so
to
much.
the participants, and thank you very much faculty members, head of the department, and the students, those who are belongs to biomedical engineering and other domain. And thank you once again, Jitendra Vinashar, for sharing your knowledge regarding these, particularly in customer service and patient safety. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your time. And I hope so this particular session will give clarity about what actually a market required and what actually the customer service required and patient safety is important. Thank you very much once again. And tomorrow also the day 5 is going to be Mr. Hamid Shah. Mr. Hamid Shah Shahuddin is come and participate to give some of the clarity about the customer satisfaction. So thank you once again, Abhinash, on behalf of
Okay.
our
Thank you so much.
corporation.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and advance happy new year participants and Pandian sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhinash. Thanks a lot.
அவங்ககிட்ட ஒண்ணு கொடுக்க சொன்னேன், கொடுத்தனா? இது வந்துருச்சு என்னப்பா? நம்ம காப்பி சார் பார்த்துட்டு கொடுத்துட்டு போறோம். இது ஃபெமினா மேடத்திட்ட கொடுக்கணும். பயோடெக்னாலஜி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் வந்து மேத்தமெட்டிக்ஸ். இது ரெண்டுமே ஃபெமினா மேடத்திட்ட கொடுத்து அவங்க எங்க பார்க்கணும்னு பார்க்கணும்.